All right. Hello, Nature's Tigers. And thank you for coming to today's presentation over the graduation requirements and the new A through F accountability system. Next slide, please. So, as I put here, today's presentation will be over the new graduation requirements for your high school students and the current accountability system for our school district. I'm excited you guys are here because this is what it takes. It takes us, the small community, working together so that our kids can have a better education and improve learning, improve student learning. So we're going to start out with the graduation requirements that are relatively new, starting around 2014. Next slide, please. But I want to start first with our mission. Our district mission, as stated above here, is the Natchez Independent School District, established and supported by the community, will provide an excellent, well-balanced education and a safe environment for all students. This excellent, well-balanced education is exactly what the new graduation requirements provide for students. And also the new A through F accountability system not only holds us accountable for providing a well-balanced education, but also the opportunity to get better and to have growth, experience district and campus growth. Next slide, please. Our vision is a supportive community, which is you guys. Exceptional administration, which is those guys over there. And a staff, which is me. Rigorous curriculum and instruction. Strong extracurricular tradition. These are the things that define Tigerland. We are committed to ensuring that our students are given the best opportunities to shine. So as I go over this presentation, we're just going to go over the basic stuff, and any of the details you would need to talk to Ms. Hudson, our school counselor and curriculum developer. Ms. Hudson, if you have specific questions about the requirements for graduation or for the A through F accountability system. Next slide, please. All right, so this is some of the kind of not too exciting to talk about, but in 2013, House Bill 3 from the 83rd Legislature established the new Foundation High School program as the default graduation program for all students entering high school beginning in the years 2014 to 2015. The State Board of Education adopted those rules and related to the new Foundation High School program in January 2014. And so the way that it works is the rules of the program were grafted into the Texas Administrative Code for the graduation requirements. Next slide, please. All right, so we have the foundational program, we have what's called endorsements, and we have what's called distinguished level of achievement. So there's different, we would like for those students to be able to make it all the way to distinguished level of achievement. So what we're going to do is break down these requirements by the foundational school programs, the minimum requirements to graduate high school, and then talk about endorsements, and then also distinguished level of achievement. Next slide, please. Okay, so the basic credit system, 22 credits for the foundational school program, we're going to go over in just a minute, which I'm going to show you each credit, each class your child's going to need to take in order to graduate. But they also can choose and need to choose an endorsement. A student entering grade 9 in the 2014-2015 school year and thereafter shall enroll in the course necessary to complete the curriculum requirements for the Foundation High School program specified in Section 7412 of that Texas Administrative Code that we just talked about. And so at least, though, one endorsement needs to be specified. Next slide, please. What is an endorsement? Well, it's kind of like a college major. You can think about it like that, guys. And it's an area of study that your child is interested in. We're going to look here in just a minute at the different endorsements available. But it's nice to think of it like a college major. Yeah, next slide, please. So here are some endorsements. The endorsements that Natchez ISD offers are science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, also known as STEM. Or there is business and industry. Or your student might want to choose the endorsement of public service. Or your student might want to choose arts and humanities. And then the last one that we have here for your student, for your child at Natchez ISD is multidisciplinary studies. So to break down STEM, or science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, there are courses in career and technical education, mathematics, science, or a combination of no more than 2 of those categories listed. And there is one more that I left out, computer science. So if your child is interested in science or technology, then he or she might want to choose this endorsement. If your child is interested in business and industry, then she or he may be interested in choosing this pathway to graduation. Now, business and industry refers to agriculture, arts, audio, financing, marketing, food and distribution services, manufacturing, technology applications, architecture and consultation, business management, and other courses of that nature. Okay, so the third endorsement that your child might want to choose here at Natchez ISD, Natchez High School campus, is the public service endorsement. Of those, we have human services, law, corrections and security, health science, and public safety. Arts and humanities is a different one, another one they can choose, where you have 2 levels of 2 languages other than English. Now here at Natchez High School, we only offer Spanish. So if your child is interested in learning another language than Spanish, then Miss Hudson can set up satellite classes for another language. Maybe French. This is one I hear a lot of the students taking if they're not taking Spanish, is the French. But as far as on-campus foreign languages, we only offer Spanish. So then also let's get to this last endorsement, which is multidisciplinary studies. One of the followings of these: 4 advanced courses from other endorsement areas, 4 credits in each area, including English 4 and chemistry, 4 credits in advanced placement, or AP, advanced placement, international bachelor's, or dual credit selected from either English, mathematics, science, social studies, economics, and the rest. Also, I want to let you guys know that Miss Hudson has a handout to give y'all here in just a minute for you to take home and peruse with your child, because a lot of this information, I'm just going to hit the general stuff, and there is some specific stuff that I will talk about, and I may go, a little bit, if I go too fast, we want you to have the literature so you can look at. But as long as you get the basic idea of the requirements, this is letting your child choose his or her academic interest and be ready for what we're going to look at here in just a minute, either college, a career in technical services, or military service for the United States Armed Forces. Next slide, please. All right, so then you have the foundational credits. Then there are endorsements. You choose an endorsement and you go for it. Your kid goes for it, takes those classes, does well. And then if the student wants to there's an even higher level of achievement for acknowledgement, and this is this distinguished level of achievement. I have here, a student may earn a distinguished level of achievement by successfully completing the curriculum requirements for the Foundation High School program and the curriculum requirements for at least 1 endorsement required by the Texas Education Code, including 4 credits in science and 4 credits in mathematics, to include also Algebra 2. So this is distinguished level of achievement. Next slide, please. So I have here the distinguished level of achievements, just talking about the benefits, guys. The benefits for your child or children. So why does it matter? Well, it allows your child to compete for the top 10%, to be able to have automatic admission to state universities or universities within the state or out of state. So, some of you have that goal for your child, or your child may have that goal, wants to get into a higher, a very well respected and good college. And sometimes when a student gets that top 10% GPA ranking by his graduation year, then he is or she is assured college admission. You know, this would be like the University of Texas, Texas A&M. And so this is going to help your student do that, this distinguished level of achievement. What else? It positions your child among those first in line for a Texas grant to help pay for university tuition and fees. And if you don't know, the grants is what we want here. You know, grants you don't pay back, loans you do. And so if you can put your child into an advantageous position to be able to get some of these grants that you guys will never have to pay back, I think that would be a great thing. So focusing on getting this distinguished level of achievement might be a good thing if that's a goal for your child or children. Also, you ensure a more competitive applicant at the most selective colleges and universities, which is what we just talked about. So we offer this at Natchez ISD. We offer this at Natchez High School. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, then Ms. Hudson will help you figure out, make sure your child is taking those classes to achieve this distinguished level of achievement. Next slide, please. So I have here just to go through a few things about it. 4 credits in math, including Algebra 2. 4 credits in science. Successful completion of an endorsement in your area of interest. So these are the basic requirements to achieve that distinguished level of achievement. Next slide, please. So just to recap, you have the Foundation High School program, which is 22 credits. Now, when you do the Foundation program plus an endorsement, that's 26 credits with its requirements. And then there's also the distinguished level of achievement, which is 26 credits. Again, the specifics, you're going to have the literature to look at, and then also Ms. Hudson will counsel with your child and you if you request so. Next slide, please. Why are students being pushed to choose a career path? You know, these endorsement pathways. Well, one is for education, higher levels of education. Maybe your child has a dream job she or he wants to pursue. Or maybe your child, a better quality of life, a happy life. We all want our children to be happy. And it's attainable here through this system of endorsements here at Natchez High School. And success, to be successful, to be competitive, you know, in this global economy where China's gaining on us. Nothing against China, but we want to be competitive on a global scale. And we need our children being highly trained. Also, students who participate in these CTE courses are 30% more likely to complete high school, according to some studies. Next, students with well-defined career goals are more likely to persist in college. And also, students with well-defined career goals are more likely to attain jobs in their chosen career field after college. So these are some reasons to choose pathways and not just the foundational school program. Go up another level or another level to the achievement. Next slide, please. Why choose so early? You know, your boys and girls are about to be freshmen. And so, you know, we're wrapping up the 8th grade year here. And why choose so early? Well, there's 3 reasons that I thought was important. Was to say that having a plan early allows you the chance to take advantage of all the opportunities that exist at Natchez ISD. Choosing your path early does not lock you into that path. So a lot of times that's a common question. You're not locked into a path. If your child wants to change his or her mind, no problem. You can change your mind. Exploring options gives you a chance to figure out what you like and what you don't. So that'll be the 3rd reason why to choose so early. Next slide, please. How will colleges view the new graduation requirements? Well, because the new graduation requirements have just been developed, no one knows exactly how the new requirements will exactly affect college admission. Therefore, it is very important for parents and students to check the specific admission requirements for any college a student may be interested in attending. Next slide, please. What is a credit? Some of the basics I just thought maybe, just in case some of y'all did not know some of this basic terminology, I wanted to go over with you. Because you're here, and if you're here, that means you're interested, and some of you may have different levels of understanding of the system, the graduation requirements. So I wanted to go over what a credit was, very basic. High school students earn a half a credit for successful completion of each course each semester. Semester averages must be 70% or better. Students may earn credit if the year-ended average is 70% or better. Attendance matters. Students who fail to be in class 90% of the time may lose credit for the course. And then 26 credits are required for graduation. That'll be that foundation program, 22 credits, plus your endorsement credits or distinguished levels of accomplishment. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell, guys, what a credit is. Next slide, please. So when we talk about college level courses, your boys and girls can now take college level classes, which I think is so neat, right? They didn't do that when I was a kid, but when my daughter was in high school, that's when they first started doing it. And I remember her being a senior and having almost her sophomore year complete. So that's pretty neat. And we offer college classes at Natchez High School. Natchez ISD offers a variety of pre-college and college level courses. All students who choose career pathway requires a post-secondary education should consider preparing for the challenges of college by taking advantage of these courses. So, teacher input is valuable. It helps you prepare for college. Get that GPA up higher, so you have that higher GPA, which will, if your kids are wanting to go to college, they're going to notice that. That's going to be real critical for your student, for your child to get into college. May earn college credits in 11th and 12th grade through dual credit process, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and then learn to think, read, and write critically and analytically. And that's a big one right there, even if they're not wanting to go to college. This complex society that we live in, guys, they've got to be reading, thinking, and writing critically and analytically. Next slide, please. Who should take pre-AP and AP classes? These advanced placement classes, and you can get the requirements for those from Ms. Hudson. There's also information in the handout that you're passing out, right, Ms. Hudson? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Good deal. So anyway, in the interest of time, though, let's just talk about AP classes. You can get the specific requirements from her or look at the handout. Students who are self-motivated, hard-working, challenge-seeking, capable of handling faster pace, willing to invest extra time, but still keep that balance, and also those planning to pursue a highly competitive field might want to consider AP classes. These are advanced placement classes. And you might think of like when they were in junior and high, we don't have AP classes in our junior high, but we had that gifted and talented. So you can kind of think about it like that as you want to. There is a distinction, but that's a good way to think about it if you've not been exposed to the terminology of advanced placement. Next slide, please. Thank you. English graduation requirements. So anyway, recommendation as we wrap up this part of the presentation, choose a challenging level of rigor that prepares you for your college goals. That's for your kiddos. They need to do that. And we can help them do that here at Natchez High School. The fourth, English should be a bridge between high school and post-secondary goals. English 4 is like a bridge. Natchez ISD recommends taking a college level course at least by their senior year for those students planning on going to college. Next slide, please. All right, I'm going to run through these pretty quickly, guys. This is just the basic foundation school courses, and I'm going to go through these pretty quick. You have the literature with you, and if you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to contact Ms. Hudson, our counselor and curriculum specialist. All right, for English, to receive the foundational program, English 1, English 2, English 3, and then an additional English. Next slide, please. Thank you. Math is Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and then one additional mathematics course. Next slide, please. Thank you. Math requirements. Choose challenging math courses that prepare you for your career goals. The fourth math course should be a bridge between high school and post-secondary. Just like English 4 is a bridge, your fourth math course should be a bridge. And Natchez ISD recommends taking college level courses at least by senior year. Next slide, please. Thank you. Science. Biology, 1 credit lab-based course, and 2 additional science courses. Next slide, please. Thank you. Science requirements, lab-based courses, IPC, chemistry, advanced placement chemistry, IB chemistry, physics, principles of physics, AP physics, or IB physics. Next slide, please. Thank you. Choose a challenging, though, level of rigor that prepares you or your students for the goals of maybe, look at the endorsement and see the proper level of rigor. And then students may take either IPC or biology their freshman year. Next slide, please. Thank you. Social studies, world history or world geography, U.S. history with an end of credit exam, U.S. government, and economics. Next slide, please. Extracurricular activities. These are always fun. The kids love these. We have a great agricultural program. We have lots of great programs, but we tend to pride ourselves in our agriculture. being in this rural community, the opportunities for your child to learn so much about agriculture is ready for them starting next year. So agriculture competitions, 4-H, and various type of agricultural clubs and programs, athletics, cheerleading, debate, drill team, fine arts, and yes, we even offer JROTC. Once you've met the standard credit requirements for additional courses, count as electives. These will be electives, and you have so many electives that you have to get in order to graduate. Next slide, please. Your plan for your endorsements. All students must choose an endorsement. Each endorsement requires a series of courses. Most of these courses have a required sequence. Students may earn more than one endorsement. See your planning guide from Ms. Hudson. Well, you've got the planning guide with you now. You can look at that later for specific endorsement requirements. All right, next slide, please. Other graduation requirements. 2 various credits. 1 credit for physical ed. 1 credit for fine arts, which makes a total of 26 credits. All right, so I want to do a time check, Bradley. What time does it say on the clock there?
1:45.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so we're going to keep going. I'm going to slow the pace down a little bit more, though, as we move into our next part, which should be A through F accountability system. Next slide, please. Oh, I'm sorry, I do apologize. Maybe a couple more slides talking about graduation requirements. Other than language, we only offer Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, but there is the option if we have students that are interested in French and possibly other languages to do our satellite program. I don't have that in our slide presentation, but that would be something that you would need to talk to Ms. Hudson about. She could see if we can make that happen. But we do offer Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. Next slide, please. Physical education, PE, athletics, cheerleading, band, JROTC, drill team, and then off-campus PE through approved vendor. We have this is a new thing we're doing here. So going through a vendor. So this will be our first year implementing this. So bear with us on this. If you have questions about this, please ask Ms. Hudson. I have not been apprised of this information as it's a new program we were implementing. Next slide, please. Fine arts, which will be art or theater arts. Next slide, please. How can parents help? Partner with Ms. Hudson or some of your high school teachers. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, please. Learn more, visit our website at Natchez ISD and visit frequently. A great source of information there at our website. Check your child's 4-year plans before you allow your child to submit the plan to his or her counselor. Make sure this 4-year plan is good because it can be modified, but it's so nice when it's kind of there and the student is able to focus on that concrete plan and not make any changes. Next slide, please. Now we're going to get into the A through F accountability system. This is kind of how we are viewed, and I mean, some of the language I don't really like, but it holds us accountable. It's an accountability system. It's different than the older system that you might be used to hearing about. This accountability system, though, is neat and special because it allows you guys, the local community, the members, the stakeholders that are valuable, to be able to have input into the accountability system and the way you'd like for it to run for Natchez. Next slide, please. So our A through F accountability system is originally started out of House Bill 2804. But House Bill 22, next slide, please, recently made some changes, which grafted into this House Bill 22 made some changes into modified, amended House Bill 2804 as it was grafted and embedded into the Texas Administrative Code. The commissioner shall evaluate school districts and campus performance and assign each district and campus an overall performance rating. It'll either be an A, B, C, D, or F. So we get a report card, y'all. Next slide, please. And next slide, please, sir. All right, so the new labels. A, under this accountability system, equals exemplary performance. B, recognized performance. C, acceptable performance. D, in need of improvement. And then F, unacceptable performance. And then some of this language, can be misleading because it's unacceptable, but there's opportunity for us to modify and grow. Next slide, please, sir. All right, so this is kind of how it works. In a nutshell, they're broken into 3 domains. The first domain is student achievement. The second domain is school progress. And the third domain is closing the gaps. Now, we will get our score here for student achievement, our score here for school progress, and our score here for closing the gaps. There's different ways to calculate how these two will factor in at what percentage, but this together will be 70% and this will be 30%. 70, 30, and this can vary. Next slide, please, sir. Let's look at student achievement. Student achievement is just like it sounds. We're going to measure, the state is going to measure how well our students perform and how well they achieve. So, next slide, please. Okay, so this is the scoring. This is how the scoring will work for student achievement. Domain 1, student achievement. They're going to look at our STAR results. And out of all students tested, they're going to take the percentage that was at approaches grade level or above, the percent for at meets, and the percent at masters. They're going to take those three figures, add them, and divide them by 3. The reason, now if you'll notice here it says an A is 60.2. And the reason that an A is 60.2 is because the goal that the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board has set for 2030 in the state of Texas is to have at least 60% of Texans aged 25 through 34 to have a certificate or a degree. So this is the number we want, 60.2 as an A. And here in just a little bit we'll talk about how Natchez did last year. Next slide, please, sir. Alright, so for the elementary and middle school campuses, the report card, the score, or our grade will be solely dependent upon our STAR results. But high school is a little bit different. We're going to go into detail a little bit about that. There's a combination of variants that we can do with the STAR results, which will be STAR results plus what we call college, career, and military ready, or CCMR, for and then also graduation rates. So there's a variation of the 3 ways we can add these up to get the high school's grade. So, because there's an emphasis on students being ready through their pathways for college, a career, or joining the United States Marine Service and defending our country. All right, next slide, please. Okay, next slide, please, sir. All right, and I'm going to skip this for now in the interest of time. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Very good. So, now, that first domain was student achievement. Our second domain is school progress, and it's just like it sounds. They're going to look to see how well we are progressing at the high school level, the junior high level, and the elementary level. And there's different ways to, variations to